What's up, YouTube? So tonight I'm going to talk about Jason Blum. Cheap horror movies and turns it around with huge profits. Now it's not just as simple as scrape together a couple $100 million and then turn it around and racking in the money. I mean, his movies, when I say like cheap, it goes for somewhere around like $10 million, 15 million, 10 million, 5. And that means he ends up paying the director like lowest pay, nothing what a director should usually be paid, which is in the millions. And that includes any other talent that comes in. And also his movies seem to barely flop. I can't think of like the last movie I've watched that was bad. And that makes it seem like it's simple, but I looked into it a little bit and watched a couple of interviews, and it turns out he's got a pretty good formula that really hits home with everybody to make everyone happy. It's not that he doesn't have flopped movies or anything. He has this formula for the director, which is two things. Now, the first thing is they have full creative control and final say, which is amazing because the person who finances the movie is the one with the final say, usually. And the director is the paid, like takes the paycheck and makes the movie that the producer wants them to make. Instead, Jason Blum sits to the director and says, I will finance your movie in the way that you want it. So that's intense. His second incentive for them is that they get a piece of the box office pie. And Jason Blum's success is thanks to that formula. That formula of basically bringing in tested directors like James Wan, who was amazingly successful with the Saw franchise. But why did he come in and work with Jason Blum with a small paycheck? I mean, for God's sake, a director that gets a piece of the box office pie is a big deal, even if it's 1%. And, that's something Jason Blum still follows today with even current directors. And then, especially given the fact that it's full creative control that a director gets to have. Now, why don't other studios follow this formula? It's the risk of that freedom. I mean, if we're talking mega franchises that had come at a director saying that they're going to fund this movie that you're paid to make. By the way, the movies are worded, we're putting in $100 million, 150, whatever. Final say is not going to the director by far. Even if they're putting in some money, they're going to have some of that say, but nothing like on the level of the producers. What's the collateral in Jason Blum's end? Well, to finish up what the formula is, the collateral is that because the movie's so cheap, that if Jason Blum does not guarantee distribution. He guarantees the director full control and piece of the box office pie. He does not guarantee distribution, which means that if he sits down and says this movie doesn't seem appealing, they just throw it on iTunes or something. And by doing that, they still get most of the money back. And because the movie that was, the budget money for that movie that was so cheap, they get most of that money back. They're able to do that. I mean, if they throw in $100 million and they throw it on iTunes, it's not going to get most of that money back. That's just wouldn't work. But it definitely does for a cheap budget movie. So that collateral works. And while everyone, of course, would prefer the box office revenue, that's still a pretty good system. And the reason why he's able to take those risks as well with giving creative freedom, let's take a look at the way he ran Halloween movie recently. He told John Carpenter, the original creator of Halloween, that unless you're heavily involved, I will not make this movie. He truly believes in the creative talent behind the cameras, which is amazing. Studios don't normally do that nowadays. Nowadays, we get mostly the same kind of movies, superhero movies, whatever. We hardly get like Western movies. We hardly get like minimal budgeted storyline drama movies. We do get them, but not nearly like as much as crazy studio superhero movies and whatnot. So to wrap it up, Jason Blum plans on keeping this formula going, which is great because the formula is working out just fine. He's got like a 10-year contract, I believe, with Universal. So hopefully it's for the next 10 years. And so far what he's got going with him is great because, again, he's pulled in like over $4 billion, thanks to Halloween being the latest box office revenue for him. So if there's any other input you guys want to throw in there about Jason Blum I might not have read or anything like that, go and throw that in the comment section below. And please subscribe to support my channel. Thank you.